It's Puerto Rican Heritage Month here at the New York Botanical Garden, and a group of 4th and 5th graders from over half a dozen elementary schools participated in a day of workshops and lectures meant to shed light on a culture that dates back to 3 and 2000 BC. Tanya Torres, an artist from East Harlem, led a workshop where symbols by Taino Indians who lived on the island were painted on tile.
The Tainos left petroglyphs on stones and caves, and we don't know exactly what they mean, but we love them.
Virginia Guzman curated this exhibition that looks further into the culture and includes food indigenous to Puerto Rico.
The green plantain, we make tostones over here. Delicious.
Meanwhile, in the main lecture hall, there was a presentation of bomba dance and drumming history. It's an expression that brought several cultures together, including that of Africans brought to the island as slaves. Olga Ayala, another artist, also demonstrated the influence of other countries on the island.
What we're doing here in this particular workshop is we're exploring and learning about vejigantes, who are the traditional folklore characters in patron saint festivals and folkloric festivals in Puerto Rico. And Ponce, the masks are in a very European style, which the Spaniards brought with them, which is the papier-mâché. And then, of course, in Loíza, it's a very African descendant town, and of course, their style is more African.
And speaking of history, Dr. Jacqueline Bocachita Gonzalez, who is from the Bronx and spent summers in Puerto Rico, graduated from the Bronx High School of Science, was a teacher, a principal, and is now a professor at Fordham University, talked about something she just learned about her grandfather.
I found that someone had actually written a memoir about him and indicated that he had worked for their family in Puerto Rico from the governor's family. He was a chauffeur, and he used to have to pick up the children from school for the family, and the daughter of the governor writes a book titled Memoir, and in her memoir she writes that Carmelo Bocachica, with the skin as black as coal, was like sweet as chocolate and caramel, and how he tended to her and was so nice to her, and she remembered him well.
She shared a skit on how she thought her summers were only about sunning up, but instead she also formed strong bonds with her grandparents and the island, something the New York Botanical Garden wants to bring to a new generation. Elizabeth Figueroa is the Director of Community Relations and also from the Bronx.
I was fortunate enough to get it in my home at an early age. My father taught me how to dance at 4. I eat everything that you can possibly think of in our Puerto Rican culture, pasteles, arroz con gandula, everything. My parents did a very good job in teaching us our culture.
Keeping tradition alive is what it's all about here at the New York Botanical Gardens Puerto Rican Heritage Month event. For BronxNet, this is Arlene Makoko.